Welcome to Grown and Social. I am Beatbox, along with Jenny J, along with Clint.
What up, America?
See what I'm saying? Now, every time I normally say along with Jenny J, she goes, "Hello, everyone."
Hi, everyone.
Yeah. See, you didn't even do it that time. Just threw
I
off
forgot.
the whole thing. So, how you doing today?
I'm having a senior moment. Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
You have a senior moment.
A senior moment.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's all right. It's all right. You doing good today, Clint?
Yeah, I'm surviving. Another day, another dollar going by. So,
That's good, man. You're looking good, brother, man. As I told you earlier, man, that's good. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay.
Just gonna keep it moving.
All right. So, let's get into it.
Yeah.
If you're watching this replay on TikTok, please be sure to click on the bio. There you can find the YouTube link where we stream every Friday at 10 p.m. We're also available via podcast. You can see the multiple podcast platforms that we stream on in the Linktree link in my description. I also like to remind everyone to take a second out your day to like and subscribe to the channel. Click on the bell so you can get a notification of when we go live. And tonight we'll be discussing the double standard of dating. Why women face more pressure. So let me put that up here. There we go. So, as men get older, they say we age like wine. As women get older, either men will say, she's older, or I like younger women, or the women will say, hey, you men, you love younger women. So tonight we're gonna just be, we're gonna be digging into Jenny Day's mind here to see how she perceives this, myth that women somehow, as they get older, are not as enticing as some of the younger women. So, Jenny J, let's just jump right up into it. What are your thoughts around this conversation today?
So, I think that we have to approach it in several ways. I think that women are, as we grow older, we start having a more defined idea of who we are.
Okay.
And that becomes difficult for two people to get together and actually live in the same house and function together, because each person has an idea of how their household runs. They've been doing it for 20 years, 30 years. So when an older woman is dating a man of her own age, she probably realizes some things about him that a younger girl might not. And Chris Rock said something that I thought was very funny. He said that if you date a younger woman, she just needs a pair of shoes and she's fine. If you date an older woman, she needs her roof fixed. And so that
she said she needs her what?
Her roof.
Oh.
So she's more, I would say, difficult to please or more challenging to be with. So I guess my concept is that it might be more difficult for older women to get dates. For one thing, the dating pool gets smaller in terms of age-appropriate men. A lot of men, by the time they're 50, sometimes pass, or sometimes men are known to do more dangerous things. So, they're skydiving and something happens. And I also think that men once they get into get to a certain age, they might want to feel more vibrant, and so they might look for a younger woman to be with. And not to mention, it's taboo for older women to get with younger men. You know, younger.
Why is that taboo?
I don't know. I think it might be. Let's see. For one thing, there's a lot of comments saying, "Oh, that could be your son." You know, so it's like, you know, you shouldn't be doing that. You should have some respect for yourself. Stuff like that. You're taking away his youth. You're, you know, he's gonna want children and you can't have any. So there is a lot of social commentary around an older woman dating a younger man.
So, but if the woman if she's of an age to where the man would think that she wasn't able to have kids, you're talking considerably older, right? Because
not necessarily.
What is the age when a woman can no longer have kids?
Well, a woman can have children depending on her hormonal age. So you could have children way into your 50s if you're still having a period and you're still producing viable eggs. The problem is that as a woman ages, it becomes more risky for you to do that, because while men just give the sperm, women actually carry the fetus. So you're talking about carrying another human being who is living off you in your 50s. So that is kind of that is dangerous, right? So there are so many things around that. If the woman is with modern technology, there's a lot of women in their 50s who are using eggs from other women and having children. There's a whole kind of ethical thing that goes around that. Are you going to be alive long enough to be there with the kid? Can you run around with the child? Is it safe for you? You're having a geriatric pregnancy. So there's a lot that goes with that.
You got a geriatric?
Right? A geriatric pregnancy, meaning that older people are called geriatric. And so
geriatric.
Yeah. Meaning you're senior.
Okay.
Right.
That's a new term.
In fact, they have geriatric medicine for seniors.
Yeah. I have to deal with that for my mom. I have to deal with that. Yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying to you is that those are the issues surrounding it. So your son, this person is your son. You could have them, but I think socially, it was never considered okay for a woman to go younger. It was always considered for her to go older, right? You have to remember.
You just covered a lot right there, though. Didn't she go through like a whole bunch of stuff? We went from kids to, the guy, getting laughed at, I guess, for dating an older woman. It's kind of like so many different things. Let's unpack some of that one by one to help the listeners, anyone in these particular categories, decide whether or not they want to get into a relationship with someone that's older. In this case, we're talking about the standard of women getting or men getting younger women. So from a woman's perspective, we're talking about a woman dating an older man and an older man dating a younger woman. Some of the different stereotypes, but mainly we're focusing on the woman and why there is a double standard. Is that a positive thing? Or is that a negative thing? Right now, you're focusing on some of the negative things, and what I heard was, she might not be able to carry babies, but then we also talked about how, women can carry babies up into 50. So, I want to focus on kind of like the mid range of folks. I mean, 50 is kind of like that's midlife. Some people would say, I'm not even 50 right now. You look at me, I got a face full of gray hair. You know what I mean? So, and I'm still middle aged. You know what I mean? So, I'm thinking, for the audience that's out there, that's that's younger, and a younger woman who's dating an older man, and even women or men that are my age or women that are my age. Let's say women your age, our age, right? What can we do to help them understand that it may not be a situation to where they're used up, like they got nothing left? From your perspective, do you think or do you believe that all men think that, we want these new shiny new Corvettes? Because we just now talked about the kids, so let's shelf the kid discussion for right now. Let's just assume that these are like-minded men and women who both have kids, or neither one have kids because of their own choice of not to have kids, so they don't want kids. Neither one of them. Let's just talk purely between a man and a woman, and let's just say we got a man that's 45 years old, and let's just say we've got a woman that's 40 years old, or even 40 to 45 years old. Okay. Then from her perspective, do you think that woman is going to think that her 45-year-old man is going to want a 30-year-old woman or a 25-year-old woman? And why do you think, men would want these younger women from a woman's perspective? Because I can tell you
from a woman's perspective is, I think that the more mature a woman becomes, the more challenging she is to be with. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean it in the sense where she now has a sense of who she is.
Okay.
Right? I think it takes a very grown up man, a very adult man, to date a woman of similar age.
But see, that's my thing. And I don't even want to stop you there. But my whole thing though is I need that. I need a woman like that. Like when I'm having a grown up and a mature discussion, I don't want a wishy-washy person. I don't want someone that's trying to figure it out, like someone that don't know who they are. I want someone that has a clear line of thought, who knows who they are, knows what they believe in, and can give me an honest assessment of what we're talking about, wholly and completely off of their experience on this planet. I don't want someone that's going to dig into the box of, some rapper or some singer, whatever whatever podcast they've been listening to last week and who said what. I want to know what you think and how, you're feeling about things, because every person is an individual, and, there is no other person on this planet like you. So regardless of what your opinion is and how you think about a particular subject, that opinion is going to be invaluable because it's yours. No one else on this planet can give it to you, because it's just like a fingerprint. None of them are the same. Your thoughts and your opinions on any particular topic on any particular time is going to be unique. And for me, that is invaluable. So I don't want someone that's wishy-washy when I'm having a discussion. I want someone that's grown and mature. Are you trying to tell me that you believe that all men are, wanting to play games and, have the opposite of what I just stated?
So let's dig into human beings on a whole. They've been through life and they've had multiple relationships, and they've been treated a certain way by each person.
Okay.
And as a woman has come to a certain point in her life, she's met a number of men who's played games with her. Mm-hmm. And at 40, 45, she stands up for herself. She goes, I'm not dealing with this. I'm not taking this. I'm not doing this. Okay. Then let's talk about the other side of it. Is most men want beauty, a person who appears fresh, young. His friends would be like, hey, you just got you a nice looking thing. Look at that thing on your arm.
Yeah,
right?
But I mean, there's some guys that love their woman, but then you look at it, you're like, why are you so excited? You know what I mean? It's kind of like beauty is in the eyes of the beholder.
Agreed.
Everyone's
But
been
would
through
you
that.
say that men like trophies?
But
Would you say a car? Let's talk about cars. You purchase a car. You purchase that car you look good in that car. Right? You have a woman, she looks good on your arm.
Mm-hmm.
The younger that woman is, the newer your car is, the more successful you are.
See, she's good, right? I like how she did that, right? Because she does the newer that, the younger she is. I like how you tie that together. But what I'm trying to tell you though is I disagree with that because you know what? I'm gonna play your game. Let me play a game with you. So we talking right now let's just talk about a Tesla. I hate Teslas. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about a Tesla. There's all different types of years of Tesla. So you want that new fresh thing, right? A Tesla is the new fresh thing. You know what I mean? I don't mind having the 2019 Tesla. So everything you just got finished saying, I still do have the shiny new thing on my arm. It's just the older model.
Agreed. But let's
I like
talk
that
about,
older model.
Let's
you know
talk
what I mean?
about
that older model is unique. The older model is kind of vintage. The older model shows that you got character. You know what I mean?
Okay. So you know what? We're gonna switch to Clint because
let's not switch. Let's continue on this. Let's continue on your game. Let's play.
I want to hear some more.
Yeah,
okay.
let's play your game.
Here's what I'm saying to you. We already know that we operate in terms of what our peers say.
Okay.
There are men who date women who are not what their peers think that is beautiful, right? A significantly overweight woman, there are men who date them. But when do they go to see them? They go to see them in the dead of night.
Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, no, she didn't. Oh, no, you just not this. You just now killed all of our, you know what I'm saying, luxurious women.
And she is out there a beautiful soul. They're like, what? She's a beautiful soul. You know she's a beautiful soul. You know that's what? Who you go to talk
Lynnette's
to.
Not
she probably
here.
Got a beautiful face. She's
Lynnette.
Just a big girl with a beautiful face. So yeah, they sneaking around dead of night. But
hold on. You also agree to that?
Dating someone.
Why'd you just give her that? You just gave her that. You just now said all men are running around with these bigger women in the dead of night. Lynnette was here last week saying some guys calling her at, in the middle of the night.
But that's not true. Not all men are running through the dead of night because the girl is big.
But that's what I'm saying. But you did. Maybe I misunderstood because I thought I heard you say that's what they were doing. I'm like,
no, running like that. No, not all men do that. So I've met a friend of mine knew this guy that dated big girls because that's all he wanted. And if you were too skinny, he was afraid. He was afraid somebody was going to step to you, come at you, try to talk to you. But he figured if he had a big girl, he didn't have that issue.
Oh,
right.
Oh, now that is.
He didn't have that issue.
So no, we're talking about. So I think we could be talking about not only age, but we're also talking about.
No, we're talking about
appearance.
what you just mentioned. You talked about the shiny new fresh car. You talked about the arm candy that people want on their arm. Clint just brought up a very interesting point. What if you don't want that arm candy on your arm because you're trying to play the background? So what if you don't want that 25-year-old or 20-year-old? Because, to tell you the truth, to a 19-year-old, a 25-year-old is old. Me with gray hair right now. Mm-hmm. There's no difference between a 25-year-old, you know what I'm saying, and somebody that's in their late 40s.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
it's just what your age is and what their age is and how much distance is in between the two.
Right.
You see them,
that gap. Yeah, that's what the term is, age.
Yeah.
But
would you agree that it probably is cheaper and easier to date a younger person?
Nah. Not now.
I mean,
not now. Because
they've learned.
Now the youngest one, They want the brand name. They want that Coach. They want that Michael's Kors. They want them Nikes. They want all that name brand stuff. They ain't trying to hear no cubic zirconia because they're going to get it appraised. You
Yo, what I'm saying? Hold on.
They're not even playing. These young girls ain't. Look, I got nieces. They ain't playing. They not playing. I'm trying to tell you, they up on their game. They not playing. So you don't want no younger. If you want a young girl, you better have that dollar. You better have that dollars because that's what it's going to be.
You're right.
Right.
Because they need something to snap. They need something to Snapchat. They need something to post on Instagram. They need something to post on TikTok. You know what I mean? They need to be somewhere. They need to be doing something, buying something, right? To show I got this man. Yeah, you're right, Clint. You're right.
Yeah,
right.
That's what they do. And they get on there now. They get on the gram and say, "Look what my daddy got me. See what my daddy got me." You know, see what my man did for me. See, my man got me these keys. You ain't see the car, you just see the keys.
Because the man's never in the picture, right? They never post the man ever.
So yeah, I definitely get it. You know, the men want a younger woman. Sometimes the women want a younger man, and it's a material type scenario. Oh, I got the eye candy. Oh, my homegirls love it. My homeboys love it. You know, everybody's. It's all, you know, outside. You know what I mean? But in the end, it's BS. everybody's trying to play somebody for something.
Right.
Especially
I think
when you're talking older, younger.
Right. I think he's saying. I think Clint is saying something that I've often thought, especially because of the internet. Yeah. Younger girls are not as innocent as be. So they're probably aware that they have to make sure their time and counts. So they're probably, you know, as they say in their world, they're making sure they get their bag.
That's right.
You know?
Yep. Because that's what the world is teaching. Get that money. You need money. You need money. But they see these women on the videos and stuff doing to get that money. So when you find a younger girl 9 out of 10 times messing with an older man, it's all about money. That's what it's about. It's about money. It's not about intellect or you know, companionship or anything like that. It's about money. It's about what he can do for her, and all he's looking for is what she can do in the bedroom.
Right,
so
and the thing is that he definitely probably can't compete either.
Right.
But his mind is telling him that he probably can. So he's having her there at 10 o'clock at night. Do you really want to go party, or do you want to go to bed?
That's right. That's right, because you've been looking for that new ring. I remember you was pointing that out and all that. Yeah, so that's how it works. Right.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And it's even vice versa with the older women and younger men.
Right.
You know? That's what I was going to ask you. That's what I was going to ask you.
I'm going to hit you off. Make sure you over here, because we're going to this restaurant. I'm going to put the money in your hand before we go in, so that way you can act like you're paying for it and all that. But that's how it's working.
And I do think too, that's where he can drive a nice car.
Yep. And
you know, he can be at the crib, get his dinner made, get all his meals taken care of. So
I call it sponsorship. Because anytime you get a man that's got an older woman, 9 out of 10 times it's sponsorship. She just wants somebody to hit her off, take her out here and there, and go about your business. Here go a couple of dollars, put in your pocket. You know, if it's a relationship, this young boy, he's acting mature and everything, but in the end, that gap is too big, and you could never fill it.
Right. I think it's difficult to fill it because each person has experiences and have been at different places in their life.
Right.
Right.
You know, a young guy with an older woman, she's got way more experience than he got. So, you know, and they can hit it off, but in the end, it's not going to work because somebody's going to have feelings somewhere, somehow, where it ain't going to work, you know, because of the age difference, you know.
Right. And I mean, I could imagine being with somebody who is significantly younger, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna be a rapper, and then he is like wanting to rap all night with you. You're like, oh my gosh,
right,
be quiet.
Yeah.
So I think maybe
and that's how it is. You know, I used to, when I was young, when I was 19, I was dating this woman that was 33.
Right.
She had 2 kids. One was junior high, the other one elementary school. They both getting ready to excel or whatever.
Right.
So, you know, in the beginning it was okay, but there was that scenario. Okay, he can't even get in the bar. He can't even go have a drink. You know.
Right.
You know, what can you do with him? He can't even go in the bar. He can't even go and have a drink nowhere. You know?
Right.
And that's why I can tell you, it's not going to last if you're trying to do something serious. It's not going to last. It's not even about the outside influences. It's just in-house.
So there is a thought process that says that a lot of women feel that men their age are not as they're not as motivated to
or mature,
change,
right?
Or to
they're not attentive. They're not, you know, the little romance here and there, you know, little chivalry, open the door now and then. You ain't got to do it every time, but every now and then, especially when you're going out, you know, you have to show the people in the world that you love this woman that you're with, that you respect this woman that you're with. So you have to do those things, you know.
Well, I think we need some more classes from you, because I think a lot of people, after they've been and I'm not talking about anybody here, but a lot of people, after they've been around somebody, and I was married for a long time, after a while people fall off. Right. You see what I'm saying? They start being like, well, I got you. You know, you belong to me. You've been here so long. You're 8. You're getting older. Ain't nobody wants you. So
and that's just to say, hey, you know I'm messed up. If you leave me, who gonna want me?
Right.
That's what it's really saying. If you leave me, who gonna want me? It's not. Right. I know you gonna get somebody, but who gonna want me?
Right. Right. I mean, I think though, when you think about women of a certain age, I think they're not gonna. They're financially independent for one,
right?
And so men use money a lot of time as the biggest pull,
the catalyst,
right, for getting a woman interested.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're financially independent, if you own your own house, if you have your own car, you have a prominent job, he's gonna have to do a little bit more. He's gonna have to actually engage in the relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Most definitely. Yeah, because you know, because at that point she's not playing. So you know, so either you're gonna have to act like you can get on her level. You don't even have to be on her level. Just act like you can get on her level, and you're everything is fine. But after a point, you know, as my friend says, when the ambassador comes first. That's who comes in. Yeah, baby, I'll do whatever you want. Da, da, da. And then after they feel like they're in there, it's a whole different person.
But that's what you call love bombing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, love bombing. That's where you just do and say anything. You just completely go psychopathic to make this woman think you're everything. And then after you, like you just said, after you realize you got him, that's when you just go cold turkey.
That's when you go cold turkey.
Yeah, I got you. I can do. You know, it's like you got to fall in line.
Yeah.
But think about this: an older woman is not gonna have a child.
No.
And so now, if you're saying she's stuck in the relationship because you have a family, that's not a thing. If you're saying she's stuck in a relationship because financially she can't take care of herself, that's not a thing. So what are you gonna do? So it becomes a more difficult task for I think the male to engage her or to keep her actively interested. While a younger woman might be easier to be interested because you're talking about he pays my bills, he I have a child that I don't want to leave.
Yeah,
I live with him.
I've got a child I don't want to leave. That's the problem, though, is that the younger woman is like a child. I don't know that there's a difference between my children and dating, you know what I'm saying? Like
a young girl, yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Like, I've got a daughter that's that age. She's 23, and it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, I just can't see myself trying to physically date someone that is at that age and get on that level. And just get on that level. It's like it's constant energy. It's kind of like and it's just not solid. It's not a solid foundation at all. And I'm like a brick house. I'm kind of like, I'm who I am. I know who I am. I know what I think about the world. I've got a lot of experience in this world. It's like these younger women have none of that. Now, if they're the type that I can impress myself upon, then maybe that's fine. But you know, a lot of these 20-something-year-olds are just like they're doing their own thing, and they see all this stuff that's going on in social media, and they want to be a part of that. So, you know, most of the older guys are normally trying to adapt to what the younger person is doing. It doesn't normally work the other way around, where the younger person is trying to adapt to what the older person is doing. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
so
don't.
why do y'all think? But why do you think that's the case? I guess I would say because is it just like you're just old?
Because a lot of times, men feel more. Remember when they were 22 and their stomach was flat, and you know they had muscles and they had energy, and being with a younger person sometimes makes them feel younger,
right?
Feel more vibrant.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. But on a long term, is that a sustainable? You know, my thing is, and I always say this all the time, is that a sustainable thing for you though? I mean, eventually,
it's a 1 in a million thing. You know, just what we're talking about. There might be one couple out of 10 million that are actually doing it. Younger men, older women, or vice versa.
And that's what I think. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I think eventually. Go ahead, Clint. I'm sorry.
I mean, you know, I have a friend whose niece is dating an older man. When I say an older man, it's pretty much double her age. And he has a child. So, you know, when
and then how does that work?
Yeah, they're trying to figure out what's wrong with this man. You just want her there to take care of your child, or you really into her? You know, because she's into you. But
I wouldn't expect. And I hope you don't lose your thought there.
No.
But you brought up something very, very important that I think a lot of people should know about. And maybe we'll even do a show about it. But, you know, the fact of a younger woman trying to be a parent to that older man's child, like, do you think that that's something that is intimidating for that woman? Would that be something that's intimidating? And even for the man, do you think a man, like me personally, I wouldn't want a younger person trying to play parent to my child because I don't think they'd be mature enough to do it.
Exactly. So,
you see what I'm saying?
But you know how they had that stigma back in the day when the girls would get pregnant. You know, the other girls would get jealous because this girl's pregnant, that sort of thing. So they always want to know what it's like to be mommy and don't really know what really comes with being a mother. But when you get this experience where it's not yours, because if it's not yours, you can always give it back. It's not yours. You can always give it back. You can always walk away. It's not yours. So when you experience that and you like what you're experiencing, then again, here's an experience for future down the road. If I have children, for her, I'm saying this is an experience for her, not for him. For him, I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on with your mind. What the hell is wrong with you? Real talk. I mean, you know,
he has Peter Pan syndrome.
That age.
Yes, Peter Pan syndrome.
Right.
Yes, Peter Pan syndrome. He doesn't want to age.
Yeah,
he has
exactly. You know, and I'm just saying, you know, and for her, it's an experience, and I understand it. She likes him, but you know, I think when you're talking that big of a gap, that's a problem later on down the road.
Yes,
I mean, she really got to be madly, deeply blinded by love to be with this man when he hits his 60s, 70s. You
And
know what
that's
I'm
what I was
saying?
talking
If
about.
she's still
But I
around
don't
that
think,
long.
but I don't think she realizes that either. I don't think because she doesn't have enough experience to realize that
A
he's
lot
gonna
comes
need
with
an
it.
oxygen tank.
Yeah,
He'll be in a
you know,
wheelchair.
it can be anything.
Right.
Anything can happen, and you know, as God willing, this man is able to see that age. But you know, when you have complications, that becomes stressful. So
Right.
that can be a make or break of a relationship.
Wow. So much information being given out here because I mean, we're talking about, the double standard of aging and dating while women face more pressure, but yet you guys are bringing up an interesting point. That man is going to get older. He may need an oxygen tank. He may need a stroller.
He may need a Hoyer lift. He might even be bedridden. You know,
Yeah.
you got to think about these things. You know,
Yeah, yeah. So it's almost kind of like when women are running around here thinking that all men want to do is run around here and get these younger women, and they're kind of jealous of the younger women. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I guess what I'm saying is that these women should understand. I mean, or maybe the younger woman should understand what potentially they're looking at that they might have to deal with. And then even the men that are doing this type of behavior, they might want to think about, is that younger woman who's always on, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, is she going to take time out her day to look after you, to recharge your wheelchair battery?
you know, that's my thing. Is she going to be there in the end, or is she going to take off? You know, is it? Do I control the money, or I don't control the money, but I'm here? Let me get on, because I ain't gonna get this money, so let me get on. And that's one of the possibilities that happen when you're talking older, younger, and it's not just the man, it's the women too. You know,
Right.
these are the things that happen. So when I look at people doing that big super gaps, I'm more power to you, power to the people.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
I think a lot of times a younger woman is inexperienced, and because she is not looking to the future, she's looking to the here and now. And there are times when you think, I want my father. So I'm gonna say that sometimes it has something to do with the lack of a parent, or a parent who was there but wasn't present.
Right.
And so this older person, whether it be a man or a woman, might present that for you. You see what I'm saying? In fact, there's research that says that men are looking for their mothers in women, and women are looking for their fathers in men. Right?
I remember that, yeah.
Right. And so it says you might have some daddy issues. And I think when a older man who has a gray beard and is very kind and loving and attentive, you might be misled on your emotions, that you actually are in love, or you are in, parent love, and you don't know. Right? What happens, I think, is I think every woman who gets to 40 has an awakening.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I did.
Okay.
And all of a sudden you realize, what am I doing? I'm pleasing the world. I am not doing what I want. I need, time is running out. I need to do me. And that's where I think you become, he is 60 and you're 40, and you start thinking, I gotta get away from him. I gave him my youth, and no, I need it back. Right? And so what you're going to do is you're going to leave him in the nursing home, or, hope that his kids come and get him, but most likely you'll be gone.
Yeah,
right?
You're going to find every excuse to run.
Right. Very few women are going to stick around. And if they do, they're going to be so miserable that it's going to transfer to the whole situation. Yes. Imagine staying with somebody who is in their 40s when you're 20, and then in their 60s when you're 40, right? You always have more life to live than they do. You always want to do more things, right? Skydiving, zip lining, it's not
And that's what you have to, when you have an older, younger partner. When
right.
you're talking about the older partner, if the younger partner isn't keeping that person moving and fit,
Right.
then yeah, you like.
Well, it
It's
depends
eventually
though.
gonna hit
It depends
the
though. It
wall.
depends though, Clint. Because that's part of the problems that I got. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be ripping and running with those 20-something-year-olds. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna want to be going here, they're gonna want to be going there because they got to take those photos. You know what I mean? So they need to be out there. You know what I'm saying? They need to be doing it.
Well,
There's no shutdown.
If you're with a younger person that needs to be on Ritalin, then leave them alone. If you got with the person that you want to do things with, but not kill yourself with, then that's fine.
That's
but if
the
you got
thing.
a young person that's trying to run you on that street 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you better get them some Ritalin.
But what's the good balance though of doing stuff and Ritalin? You know what I mean? Like, is it one day a week? Is it 2 days a week? Like, what do you think?
I mean, definitely, free time is free time. Mm-hmm. So you take advantage of your free time. You do things, maybe things you never done before. And if you got a person that's always willing to try something at least once, you're all in. You can't go wrong. So let's try this, let's try that, or do this and do that. And you don't have to do every single day. When you're younger, you're running every single day, 7 days a week, going to work, coming home, sleep 2 hours, get back, hit the club, get back home, an hour sleep, back to work, and you're running like this every day.
Yeah,
but as you get older, that slows down.
Yeah, they say youth hides all sins.
Yeah, exactly. You
don't even see it. You don't even notice it.
You don't even know it. You just, when you look back on it, you're like, man, I was running like crazy. I'm surprised I'm in good health now. So yeah, older, younger, you gotta have that balance in ripping and running.
I agree with you. So Jenny, getting back to this Peter Pan syndrome, you mentioned that earlier. So the Peter Pan, could you just explain that to what that is?
So, and then for people who know that it's a fairy tale about a boy who drank some water from a spring, he and his family, and he never grew up. He never got older. He remained the age he was. I think he was about 12, and he was 12. So he met a young lady, and one night, and he, showed her how wonderful it was to be him. And he wanted her to go drink from the same pool to stay the same age, but she refused. So when I say somebody has Peter Pan syndrome, what I mean is you don't want to move to the next stage in life. You want to stay at the same spot. And I mean, you can fool yourself for a while. You can be 40 and wear hip clothes and be at a nightclub looking like somebody's granddaddy, looking for everybody else, looking for your grandson. Mm-hmm. But you after a while, nobody wants to see a 60-year-old at the club. You look stupid. Right? And so when I say somebody has Peter Pan syndrome, this is the type of person who's gonna be 30, still at the club, 40, still at the club, 50, still at the club, and 60, still at the club. Yeah. And that is a problem, because what ends up happening is you're running around with young people who eventually are going to move away from your path, because you are now looking for a nursing home. You're looking to get your retirement together and not spending it on people that have a lifetime.
What about the psychology behind the Peter Pan syndrome? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is there any, do you think, so that's the reason why you think people are doing it is because of, everything that you just stated? Like,
no, I think it's something called arrested development. So with arrested development is, for some psychological reason, you have not progressed to adulthood in your mind.
Okay. Adulting. The new word, right? Adulting. You haven't.
Yeah.
Or you may even be in the point of adulting, but you haven't fully transitioned over into adulthood. Is that
right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So pretty much, you cannot perceive yourself to move on from stages along the stages. And that might even come from how you were raised, or it may come from that you missed out on some aspect of your childhood or your youthhood or early adulthood that you want to capture or recapture.
Yeah, and just, not I want to cut you off. I just want to add in a little bit is I always saw it as, there's some guys out there that, maybe they didn't get, picked by the, the prettiest thing on the block when they were younger. And then now that they're older, maybe have some finances or doing well for themselves. Now they just want to go out there and see what it feels like, to have like the young, fresh thing out there on their arm, you know what I mean? Because they never really had that experience. And everything is all about experience. It's kind of like, I drive a nice car, you know what I mean? But I would advocate to everyone not to drive a nice car because there's a financial situation that comes with that. And I'm kind of like, I'd rather you not have that financial burden than to have the nice car because it's just a car. But the point is, no one's going to listen to me when I say that, and they're going to think I'm crazy because they need to experience what it feels like to drive a nice car. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like one of those things.
To deal with it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right, Clint? So it's like you can't tell someone, oh, you don't need the most beautiful thing out there on the planet because it's just another girl. You'll get tired of it after 6 months or a year or whatever. But it's just the point of, well, I need to experience that. You know what I mean? So do you think that maybe with this Arrested Development, it could be the fact that there's some men out there that have an experience having like, somebody like a Jenny J in their arm and they're like, I need to go do that. I need to feel that.
Well, I do think that there is some value to that because there is only 10% of men that is considered attractive by women. 10%. Yes.
Wow, that's small.
Physically attractive.
Yeah.
Right? So what makes women then want the other 30-40%?
Well, it's all right there.
Right.
It starts right here.
Right. So you have to get to a point where you're like, okay, they didn't find me attractive at a certain point. I wasn't physically attractive. What else will get you to be attractive? Funds. No, you have the funds.
Yeah.
Right? And so, no, you can't approach people who would never give you the time of day. In fact, I feel that some men do revenge. I would say revenge dating, where they date a woman that they know was out of their league.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm trying to get. That's what I'm trying to get to. So you got these guys out there. I'm sorry, Clint. I didn't want to.
No.
I'm just saying. You got some of these dudes out here that are kind of like, well, when I was younger, y'all didn't pay me the time of day.
Right.
Now, all the dudes that you were running out here after, the thugs, you know what I'm saying, the gangsters, they in jail, they in dead, or dead. Now I'm out here with a big career. I'm vice president of this organization. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna talk to the next one. I'm gonna talk to 10 different fine women that I never ever could have talked to in my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do all y'all dirty because I know if I didn't have this money, y'all wouldn't even be paying attention to me. Like if I wasn't able to do all this stuff for you, you wouldn't be paying attention to me. So going back to this revenge thing like you're saying, you know what I'm saying? Potentially you have some guy that's out there that's devious that's just like, yo, I might want to see how many of these bras I can do in the same night. Throughout the day, I might wake up in the morning to see if I can do her in the morning, her at lunch, her mid-afternoon, and then her late at night, and then midnight, see if I can still give the big booty call. I mean, if I got that type of energy, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying, there's some dudes out there that are like that, and that's why I mentioned that whole, when you talked about Peter Pan syndrome, that kind of ties into the thing you're talking about revenge, because that's kind of like, that's a level that I didn't really think about, you know what I'm saying, how Peter Pan syndrome could lead into that. But now the way you just walked it forward, I mean, it makes perfect sense, you know what I'm saying, to me, to where someone that never had it and now they got it would go out there and just do all this stuff. I mean, So, but the thing is for the topic that we're talking about, I mean, how does that play into the woman's psyche though? Like, shouldn't a woman understand that there are men out there like that?
So I do think that you have to realize that I think there are women, older women are misunderstood in some cases. For one thing, I don't think most of them are jealous of younger women getting dating younger older men, because they've done it too and they know it's a bad idea. So sometimes what they're trying to do is say, hey, don't do that. Mm-hmm. Right? So that's one thing I think. And then the other thing I think too is women realize that their currency with men is what they look like. Right? Men's currency is money. Women's currency is appearance.
But do you agree with that, Clint?
Yes. Because when I was younger, I wasn't thin. I was chubby. I was skinny in the arms and
Cap.
stomach, and the girls
Cap.
weren't looking at me.
Cap. Yo,
now
I'm gonna tell you.
Now I'm different. Now I got money. I don't have big muscles, but my arms are a little fuller than they were.
Man, you always been thin. You never been chubby ever.
You know what I'm saying? So now it's like the ones that weren't hollering at me, hey, yeah, nope.
Right.
You know, but I can see the revenge thing. See,
right.
I can play along, but I know what she's trying to do, because now you're looking at me differently. You know, you weren't looking at me like you did when we were in junior high. Now you're looking at me differently. So now, that ain't. No, we don't do that.
But why would you think she look? But so is there? Do you think that she's looking at you differently now because she's gained more worldly experience, or you think it's just like a physical thing?
It could be a physical thing. It could be a money thing. It really depends on the situation. You know what I mean? If you're at one of them places where you're pulling out your money and she see you have a little piece of little thickness, oh, I saw $100 bill up there. I know what $100 bill. I ain't even got to see the number. I know what it looked like. You know. So, oh, he got some money. Oh, I seen him drive up in that car. You know, that Infinity or that Lexus. Oh yeah, he got a little. Yeah, it's 2023. Yeah. Look at his suit. Look at his shoes, girl. They ain't got no rub, you know? Now, yeah, look, I'm going to try him. Yeah, he wasn't all that back then, but look at him now, girl. Yeah, he got it going on. Yep, and that's all it is. That's all it is.
So women have pressure as well as men, is what you
as a man, yeah. Absolutely, man. Everybody's got pressure, one way or the other. You know what I mean? So, you know, when you run into that old girl from back in the day, when she wasn't looking at you, talking mess about you, making fun of you in front of everybody, and now it's something different. Now she wish she would have just said, hey, I like you. I think you're a nice guy. I want to get to know you. Now when she coming at you, now you're looking at her sideways. You see what I'm saying?
So, but Clint, let me ask you this though. In your honest assessment of men and women, you know, in the 2010s or 2020s, man, completely out of decades. In the 2020s right now, as my kids would say, the 2020s, right? Because they go back, it's like, oh, that's from the 2000s. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I never thought about it like that. Or they go to 19s. I'm like, yeah, that's not 1900s.
Like in the 1900s.
You know what I mean? Nah, you know what I'm saying? That's 1990, not the 1900s. But they go like, oh, that's from the 19s. Because that's all I listen to is the 19s. You know what I mean? So, but from if you would, you know, damn, and I just had a senior moment, forgot what the hell I was gonna say. So yeah, man, that's crazy. Live right there. I just completely had a senior moment.
That's what happens. It happens all the time.
like you know what? Like JoJo will always or Casey will also say to JoJo,
Yeah.
Jenny V, Joja, help me, sing, yeah, you know, help me. I'm tapping out. Help me out, Jenny J.
I mean,
Right. Well, we want to thank everybody for coming today.
yes.
We thoroughly enjoyed talking about this, and we hope it gave you a different perspective. We're also asking that if you want to participate, to send us a message. The link is the link is there. Just go ahead and click on it, and when you come next time, just participate and let us hear your opinion. We don't claim to know everything or know anything about this topic. We're just having a discussion. If
throw something out there, let us know. We might miss something. We might have missed something. So throw it out there. Let us know.
Right. I don't know. We normally talk about what we are going to talk about next week, but I think we'll table that and talk about it during the week.
Yeah. Are you sure? Because you know I always got something up my
All right,
sleeve.
what do you have?
Okay, let's talk about the myth of a perfect man and how it hurts our relationships.
I like that one.
Okay.
I like that one. I like
Perfect man. Okay.
Yes.
So we talked about the pressure of the women this week. Now we'll talk about the pressure of the men next week, if that's all right with y'all.
Man. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. So what I want to encourage everybody to do is to make sure that when you're forming attachments with people, you're forming it not just on the physical attributes of the person or the financial, the things that a person has. Make sure you're forming those attachments with a real thing, because what happens in the end is money and beauty fade. Okay. Money goes away and beauty fades. So if you're with somebody because they're beautiful, eventually they'll get old. And if you're with somebody because they have a lot of money, at some point that money's not going to mean a lot to you because you've had it for a while, or the money's going to go away. So try to form attachments that are real, because life is real.
Right.
That's going to be hard to follow up, Clint.
Well,
Final words.
Be nice to one another. Love one another. Be kind to somebody that you don't know. Say hello. Wave. You know what? Better yet, just pay it forward.